Greetings everybody, Nick DiVirgilio here, and today we're going to take a quick tour through the UAD Galaxy Tape Echo plugin. This one is so much fun to use. Let's go. The team at Universal Audio faithfully modeled this plugin from the original Roland Space Echo from way back in the 1970s. What's so cool about this plugin is that you're going to find all of the weirdness. And when I say weirdness, I mean all the quirky and fun sounds that you can get. Not just the great tape delay and spring reverb sounds, but also the saturation and distortion, which are really cool. Plus, you can manipulate this plugin in real time and just have a blast creating sounds that you may not have ever heard before. So I really encourage you to get creative and experiment with this plugin along with using it in its, quote, normal way. This plugin will run inside of any major DAW, and you can use any audio interface. Today I'm using the RME Babyface Pro. You can also buy this exact plugin individually if you like, so make sure you click on the link in the description below. All right, let's quickly go through the knobs and switches. I turned the plugin on right here. The main one you're going to want to concern yourself with really is the head select button. The head select knob allows you to select between the three different heads in the delay, and each of the three heads have their own range. You can see as I turn the knob here, the numbers down here in the head boxes change. You'll also notice when you turn the knob here is that some of the delay settings have just one head being used, some have two, some have all three, or a combination thereof. The echo rate knob can change the value of that setting. The feedback knob changes how much of the delay is going to be repeated. You have treble and bass to add a little more low end or a little bit of high end to the delay sound. You could pan the echo with this knob right here, and then you have a volume knob for the echo as well. The two knobs over here on the right are for the spring reverb, for panning of the spring reverb, and also its own volume. One last thing I forgot to mention about the head select knob, all the way at the bottom is a reverb only selection if you want to use it for just that. Down here at the bottom of the plugin, right next to the three head boxes, you have the tempo sync switch. You can switch from milliseconds or to a time-based thing like eighth notes, quarter notes, and so on. One thing to mention, once you find the setting on the head select knob that you like, and you start messing with the time, if you get to a spot where you see the flashing in the head boxes down here, that means the values are outside of what was physically possible on the original hardware unit. So you're not going to be hearing what you're seeing here. So you need to turn that echo rate knob and get it to where they're not flashing, and then keep going from there. The input volume knob is actually a pretty important knob in this plugin. Yes, it's sending the signal into the delay, but if you crank this knob up, that's when you're going to start getting the saturation and distortion like I was talking about earlier. It's really cool. Along with the treble and bass controls, you can also contour the sound of the delay with the tape loop function down here. You get the choices of new, used, and old tape type just by using this switch right here. Ever heard of wow and flutter? Well, it's basically frequency wobble, and it's not something you really hear in your face, but it definitely adds character to the sound. So switching to the different tape types will give you even more of the vibe that the original unit had. Okay, now it's time for some examples. First thing we're going to listen to is a vocal. It's a little song we recorded here at Sweetwater. Our friend Annika is singing here. She's got a fantastic voice. And like a lot of the times here, I go to a preset first. So let's go in here and just type in vocal. A lot of things come up. I don't know. What do we want to hear? Vocal room delay. We're going to choose that one and see how it sounds, and then we can tweak from there for sure. Here we go. We're going to start with the plugin off, and then I'll turn it on as we go.
Reach down, hold the sound.
Here we go.
Feel like
Oh, it's quite a bit.
super tight.
Back out.
Smile once, and then again.
Back in.
Sweeter things are in the air. Happiness is everywhere.
So that's quite a bit of delay, right? I'm going to pull that back a little bit. It's not fitting for the vibe of this particular tune, but it's so easy to do. First, I'm going to turn tempo sync off and go to milliseconds. You can see it right here. I'm not going to even change the head select here. Let's keep it like that. Turn it down a little bit. I'm going to turn the feedback down a little bit so it's less. Not too many repeats are going to happen. I just want a couple, maybe like a slap delay sort of thing. Also, they've turned down the treble and the bass quite a bit from this preset, so let's add a little bit of treble back in and keep the bass back a little bit. Here we go.
Reach down. Reach down.
Ooh.
Hold the sound.
Pull back the volume.
Feel like super tight.
Now, one last thing to do, that delay is a little bit slow. I want it to be a little bit faster. So let's turn this echo rate down and make those sounds a little bit faster. Here we go.
Reach down, hold the sound.
Now what's happening is really cool. We're dialing in something here. And again, it's so easy to do. Just turn the knobs, right? And it happens. The head number 1 here has a quicker delay time. Head number 3 has a faster delay time, and when I turn the knob, you could see both values change. So, since one head has the fast delay, you can hear that quick delay happen in the vocal, and then the other, the slower one, comes in at a different rate, and it's giving it a nice sort of, it's a very cool effect. Let's listen one more time.
Reach down,
Yeah.
hold the sound.
Yeah. Want to hear a little bit more? Turn up the feedback a little bit.
Small ones, and then again, sweeter things I'm in.
Let's listen to it one more time now with the plug-in off, then I'll turn it on. Very cool effect here.
Reach down,
Dry, right?
hold the sound.
Here we go.
Feel like super tight. Small ones, and then again.
Adding such cool life to the vocal already, and just with a couple of tweaks. Now, one thing I'm not hearing too much in this particular patch here is any of the beautiful spring reverb that's in this plugin. And you can tell it's all the way down. Let's turn up the spring reverb a little bit and see what kind of vibe that gives to the vocal. Here we go.
Reach down,
Too much? Let's pull it back.
sound.
Oh, yeah.
Feel like super tight.
Verb out.
Small ones,
Dry.
and then again. Sweeter things I'm in the air. Happiness is everywhere.
So a little bit goes a long way, right? So I would probably just barely turn it on, but it definitely added a nice little bit of flavor to the vocal.
Reach down, hold the sound.
Just a little.
Feel like super tight.
Very cool. Let's check out something else. This plugin is great for keyboards and all kinds of instruments. So I got a keyboard patch here. Here's what it sounds like. Nice sound, right? But nothing going on inside of it other than the sound itself. So let's add a little bit of flavor to it. I love starting with these presets. So click the box right there, and I'm just going to type in keys. There's only a couple, but I don't know. Let's check out horror keys. Maybe this is exactly what we need. I don't know. Could be too much, but let's see what it sounds like. Oh. Now you notice there's a lot of spring reverb, so the sound is now back inside the reverb, right? There's a lot of feedback delay, so you're hearing a lot of repeats, and it's got a really cool tone. They've turned the treble down quite a bit, so it's darkened the tone and cranked the bass up all the way. Let's see if this sounds good inside the mix. Let's check it out. Ooh. It's scary. It's a little much, right? That's what makes this so much fun. You have to experiment with these sounds and find what's going to fit for your particular track. So what I'd probably do here is give a little bit of that treble back. I'll pull back the bass a little bit too. We're going to turn down some of this spring reverb. I don't want it to all go away because I like the vibe it's giving. And maybe turn back the feedback a little bit so it doesn't repeat as much. Now let's check it out. Really nice vibe to it now. Another thing to check out, I'm going to solo this sound for you. Remember I was talking about the input knob and the saturation and distortion? Well, you can tell it's cranked up pretty high here, about 3/4, and the peak level light's going to come on, but it's adding a little bit of grit to the sound. Let's start with this plugin off. Again, the sound is soloed. I'll turn it on, and you can hear everything that's going on. Check it out. Nice and mellow, but we need that special sauce, right? Here we go. Oh. can you hear the breakup, the little bit of the breakup in the repeats? That's because you got the input knob cranked and you're getting the saturation from inside of this plugin. Very cool. Now we're going to check out this kind of eerie little whisper thing that our friend Jacob Dupre put into this song. He sang the same lyrics that Annika is saying in the song, and it just adds a little bit of, weirdness and flavor to the tune. It's really cool, I think. But adding the Galaxy Tape Echo plugin on top is sort of magical. I picked a pretty basic preset to start with called Dark Slappy Ambience. Here's what it sounds like on its own. I'm going to solo this for you. So first with the effect off and then on. Here we go. Reach down. Pretty basic, right? The sound. Now with the effect. Feel light. Super tight. Now it's not adding too much, but what's cool about this plugin is the real-time manipulation. Check out what happens when I mess with this feedback knob. Reach down. Hold the sound. Feel light. Super tight. You're taking those repeats and you're speeding them up and slowing them down in real time. In the old units, the original machines, there's a big loop of tape that's in the top, just spinning around and going in all these different directions, but it's a big loop of tape, right? And you could speed it up and slow it down manually. And as the sound is going through the machine, you give it this incredible just feedback, like a feedback of a guitar through an amp. You're doing the same with the delay. It's just repeating on top of itself and on top of itself and creating this very cool thing. And what's even cooler is once you tweak this, you can automate all this stuff inside your session as well. So let's do that one more time, except this time with the sound inside the track, not soloed. Here we go. Reach down. Hold the sound. Feel light. Super tight. So again, it's really slight, but the fact that it's so easy to do and to manipulate in real time, I really encourage you to turn those knobs and check these things out. Another example to check out this plugin on is the snaps inside the drum part. They are separate. They're on their own. They're not inside the loop, so I'm able to manipulate them however I see fit. So here's what the snaps sound like on their own with the track going. Nice and dry. Nothing to it, right? It needs a little bit of something. I have another very nice preset I chose here for this called Do the Bounce Around. Are you ready to bounce? Let's check it out. Oh, yeah. Hear that? Music is so much fun, and plugins like this make music even more fun. So you heard the snap, the delay picked it up, and then it sent the delay to my right side, in the right side of the speaker. So much cool, interesting sound immediately just by turning on this preset. Now let's mess with it a little bit too. Turning it up a little bit. Changing the pan to the left side. Like I mentioned just a second ago, you can automate everything inside the plugin. So you could take this pan knob and move the snaps back and forth between your right and your left. I'll do it manually right now, but you could automate this pretty easily. So cool, and again, so easy to use. Last but not least, in our examples here today in this video, there's a snare hit at the very end of this tune that has a long reverb tail. Well, I'm going to add the delay to it and show you how you can morph the end of this tune into some really fun stuff. Like maybe it's a transition into another song. Maybe you just want to get some weirdness at the end of your tune or what have you. But again, it's so easy to do by utilizing the feedback knob and the echo rate and those kinds of things. I picked a preset called 7 Rooms of Vocal. It's a vocal preset, right? But it's perfect for this particular thing. So here's the sound without the plugin in first. That big long check it out one more time. It's a cool sound. I'm going to go back just a little bit so you can have a little more of a wind up into it. This time now I'm going to put the plugin in and check it out. Here we go. I love doing that kind of stuff. It's such a great sound. Let's try it one more time. So if you notice what I'm doing, once the delay is already started, I'll grab the feedback knob and just crank it up. So I'm like feeding back this plugin more and more. It's still going now. And I'll just let it go as long as I want to. And then to make it stop, just like you're fading out a song, turn it all the way back down to 0. Here we go. Oh yeah, let's get crazy. Let's do one more crazy thing here. I'm going to turn up the spring reverb volume a little bit. Also the echo volume a little bit. And I gave it a little more treble. This time though, I'm going to start with the feedback down, so it's just barely on, and then I'll turn it up after the sound has started. Okay? It's a little bit different of an effect, but you could still get crazy with it. Check it out. So even though you don't hear the sound immediately, it's there in the background, and you could slowly fade it in by using that feedback knob. And it's worth mentioning one more time in this video that you could purchase this plugin individually if you like. So make sure you go to sweetwater.com, contact your Sweetwater sales engineer, or click on the link in the description below. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. I'm Nick DiVirgilio.